Yo, yo, yo. What it do, peoples? What's going on? What up, Vault? Looking all super peepo comfy, bro, in the peepo blankets, homie. What's up, dude? What's going on, man? Happy Tuesday, guys. Hope everybody's doing good. We got another fantastic day ahead of us, man. Doing what we normally do, man. We're gonna jump into video gaming news for today, October 3rd. And then it will be day 3 of Song of Horror, man. It's been a fun time so far. I've been enjoying it. And it always feels good getting back into the Scary Games Fest, man. Scary Games Month. It's good times, man. We're rocking our Oogie Boogie shirt today, man. I'm in the mood, baby. Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll do it. Let's get in it, man. Let's have some fun. Let's find out what's going on in the world of video games to begin with, man. Let's start it off with October 3rd's edition of Video Gaming News. Let's get over there, dudes. Let's go. Wait, when is Prime Day, dude? When is Prime Day? Prime Day round 2 is the 10th through the 11th, huh? Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll take a look at this, see if we can get some people some deals on some Nintendo content, man. Since especially Nintendo stuff never flipping goes on sale, so we'll take a look. Something to keep in mind, though, the 10th and 11th is going to be a Prime Day sale stuff. So there will probably be some really good stuff. And look, anytime a major retailer does sales, other major retailers do sales as well, right? So we'll probably see sales coming up from like major retailers like Target and Best Buy and places like that, you know? It just always happens. Microsoft has revealed even more games leaving Game Pass in October. We'll take a peek. The new Minecraft DLC is a fully voiced D&D adventure. What? That's sick. Let's see what else we got here. Let's get into the news part of this. Did I even... Oh, stop that, dude. Yo. Dude, hockey season's coming. Oh, baby. Super excited. We've talked about this a lot. That's why I haven't really been taking a dive into the AI side of things. You know, it's not true AI, but what the gaming industry has been referring to AI as in the realm of, you know, what it is providing as a tool for developers. TLDR, man. Yeah, dude, I love hockey, Vault. I love hockey, man. Yeah, it's like my favorite sport, dude. I love it, dude. So it's not like a sentient self-learning thing, you know, but like we've traditionally referred to artificial intelligence as, but what AI is being referred to as, and its many facets of use in technology and you know, game development nowadays and stuff. The big thing about it is, you know, it being the thing that has to be held, AI has to be held to a standard of being used in very ethical purposes. There's a great potential for AI to be used in very unethical purposes, and you know, the main thing is that we try and ensure that, yeah, it could be a great thing for developers. It can be a great enhancement to some of the things that are being done in the gaming industry, but it can also be used for plagiarism and, you know, trying to avoid paying people for, you know, doing the jobs that they should be doing in the first place to produce unique assets for games and then letting the AI build off of those unique assets. Things like that are just, I've talked about it a lot. I've fleshed it out a lot. That's why I don't really jump into it. We've got plenty of news articles on the YouTube channel where I go over that kind of thing. And that's just TLDR, basically the way this needs to roll out. Instead of these big companies doing what you know they want to do and just cutting a bunch of corners, using this technology to not pay people to do the jobs that they need to do and things of that nature, you know. Yeah, funny enough, Vault, I didn't grow up being exposed to hockey almost at all. I became a fan of hockey after I had become a young adult. And I played a lot of sports growing up. You know, baseball, soccer, football. I did swim team for a while. You know, there was a lot of sports I was into. And hockey's one of those sports that just wasn't very prominent where I'm from. I always knew of hockey, but it just wasn't something that was, you know, around where I grew up. And but the older I got, the more interested in the sport I became, and it's really become my favorite sport. It has been for a long time now. I love it, dude. I love it. I think it's a fantastic sport, dude. I really do. Literally, just it's that sport for me nowadays where, like, whenever I was growing up, it was always baseball. You know, baseball was my jam, and I was always watching my team play baseball and stuff. And when I was younger, and hockey has like taken that over for me. It's where like I can't wait for hockey every single year, dude. And like if my team is playing, I'll watch them almost every single time they play, dude. I love it, dude. I love it. It's a cool flipping sport. Those dudes are tough as nails. The Stars. Always has been, dude. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm a Stars fan, and yeah. Yeah, I just think it's a very tough sport. Those guys are really, really tough, and I think that you know, as far as, unless you're looking at a sport like MMA, what other sport is there where the dudes can just like get aggro at each other and drop the gloves and go at it? You know what I mean? I think that's a dope thing, dude. Let them duke it out, man. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Sharks. Oh, bro. That's the first NHL game I ever went to. I've talked about this before. First NHL game I ever went to, dude, was in the Shark Tank. And it was against the Stars. And I got kicked out. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, because I used to live out there, dude. You know? I used to live out there, north of San Jose, though. I used to live out between San Francisco and Sacramento. And I had a buddy out there that was a lot of his family was from San Jose. And he was a big Sharks fan. And I've just always been a Stars fan. So we got tickets and went and watched the Stars play the Sharks one time. Yeah. That's cool, man. That's cool. Sharks be going through that rebuilding process, dude. That's a brutal thing to as a fan to watch a team go through. That's the same thing. Our buddy Syke, dude. He's a big Habs fan, and you know the Habs have been going through a rebuilding process for a hot minute now, and I think they're hitting the backside of it though. I think they've got a lot of young talent. I think they're getting ready to start pulling out of that, showing some stuff probably, but. It also will probably be a couple of years before they really start hitting it hard. Word, yeah, I understand that. I loved California, dude. That's probably like my favorite place I've ever lived, to be honest. I've lived a lot of places too. Lived a lot of places, and dude, I loved Northern California. Besides the fact that it's expensive, more of a baseball football fan. Yeah, I mean, I always was too. I really got to where I'm not a fan of football almost at all anymore. I used to love it, dude. I used to love football, and I over the years I got to where it really lost its appeal for me. I've talked about this not too long ago too. It really has just gotten to where I think there's a couple of different things that have contributed to it for me, which is like there are a lot of those guys in the NFL that just have personalities that are a big turnoff for me. There are some of them that I really enjoy. I think they're good dudes, you know what I mean? Like J.J. Watt, people like that. I think they're good dudes. But there are a lot of them that it just goes to their head, and it's just a big flipping show, and that's a big turnoff for me. As well as like what I've seen happen in this country, man, with like and it's not just football either. Like I know basketball's done it a lot too, but it's like with our public, our education system in this country, dude, has been completely just overrun with like sports, and football is a big problem behind it too. It's like anytime an educational system gets any kind of extra money, they just dump it into sports. They don't try to do anything for pumping it into like actually improving the educational system or anything, It's just like you can go around, and I mean, I know for a fact, like where I'm from and everything, it's a huge thing where you'll have these schools, dude, that are still running off of like buildings from the 70s and 80s and stuff, and then they've built like modern flipping, multi-million dollar high school multi-million dollar football stadium and locker room things, and it's like I don't know, it's weird, dude. It's like a backwards system, really. I feel like it's gotten with some of the sports in this country and everything, and it's been kind of a turnoff for me seeing how it works like that. And there's just so much more of an emphasis, it seems quite often, on these kids just focusing on trying to become athletes than actually, educating their minds at the same time. It's a weird thing. So it's odd for me to look at in this country. Football is definitely not the only sport that it's happened with, don't get me wrong, but it's up there at the top, that's for sure. But I used to love it, dude. I used to play a ton of fantasy football. I used to run fantasy football leagues and stuff. Big money leagues, dude. But I just got kind of turned off by it. Yeah. But even baseball, dude, which was always like really, that was a big thing for me growing up. Baseball was. I've gotten to where I don't even hardly watch that anymore, dude. And I'm still a huge fan of the Yankees. That's always been my team. Always. I was raised a Yankees fan, dude. Yeah. 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 So I don't know. It's weird, dude. It's weird. But hockey's my jam, dude. I love it. I love hockey, bro. It's a cool flipping sport, man. In my opinion, anyways. A new survival game's coming from Blizzard in 2027. Oh, dude, yeah, because CC's from out there, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's from, isn't he from like the Vallejo area and stuff? Right? Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, dude. Yep. Well, yeah, that's a solid play, dude. You like to see those. I mean, you know, it's nice to see those guys give back. But again, I mean, I think the thing that is I would rather see is them not just give back to the sports of the institution that they went to. You know what I mean? It's like give back to. I mean, you want to give back to the sports side. I get it, you know, but give back to the educational side of it too. You know, I think that's the thing that's important for me. I feel like the public education systems in this country are just dying, dude. They're struggling so bad. And I think it needs a lot of help, really. I know money's not the only answer to it or anything, you know, but as with many different careers in this country and things like that, you know, paying people appropriately for the amount of work they do and put in is I think, you know, something that's been lost for quite a while now. And for me, I mean, I've got friends and family that have been teachers, and it's not an easy job, really, you know. And people are like, well, you know, they get the summers off and everything, and it's like, well, okay, but you're also not taking into consideration, you know. Well, that's great, dude. That's great to hear. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's great, dude. Yeah, yeah. You love to see that, dude. You like to see the people that are all about, like, just, you know, being a big part of the community that they're from and where they live, and giving back in various forms and fashions. You know what I mean? That's great, dude. I love to hear that. That's good. I'd always been kind of aware that CC was a pretty giving person. You know, he's had his struggles too, dude. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of those things, you know, you find those people that have dealt with their own, you know, kind of demons and working through that kind of stuff. They tend to be pretty solid, grounded individuals, you know. CC's had his struggles, dude, you know. And he seems like a good dude, though. He seems like a really good dude. And I love to hear that, man. But I mean, getting back to it, I mean, whether you want to talk about teachers or anything else, and I mean, specifically with teachers, people don't understand the extent, I don't think, of a lot of the time they put in, you know. They're always there before school starts. They're always there well after school ends. They only get, you know, they get paid most of the time. They're getting paid salary. You know what I mean? And most of the time they're taking work home with them too, grading papers. And you know, you think about the amount of kids that they're teaching every single day, and the amount of papers they have to grade, lesson plans they have to do. You know, and they don't get paid overtime or anything, but they still have to get all that crap done. You know what I mean? It's things like that, and people go, well, they get 4 months off. It's like, yeah, but dude, they also don't get paid overtime, and they're constantly working overtime during the year, you know. And people fail to look at like what they do critically. And to be fair, dude, these are the people that are molding our children, the future of you know, of our world, right? And I don't even want to just talk about our country, but the future of our world. It doesn't matter where you're from or whatever. Teachers that are teaching children across the world are actually impressing upon and molding the minds of our future generations, right? And so I think that's one of the things for me why it's so important that we have great individuals that are in those positions to teach and advance the minds of you know, kids, you know. And none of them really, you know, get paid what they should get paid, in my opinion. You know, you want to be real honest about it. looking at the amount of money that like pro athletes get paid, and you know, going and just being athletically gifted. Not that they don't strive and work very hard for it and stuff, but then you talk about how little money people like teachers get paid for actually trying to educate our future generations. You know, it's pretty wild, dude, when you take it in contrast and look at it like that, you know. So it's a wild thing, dude. You know. But I love hearing that about CC, dude. And you know, there are a lot of other athletes that do great stuff like that too. You know, it'd be nice if there were more. But I love to hear that, dude, and I love to see it too. There are a lot of good ones out there, you know. There are. Oh yeah, like who, dude? Bro, one of my favorite rappers of all time is Bay Area, dude. E40, the Fonzarelli, dude. Bro, I love E40, dude. Who are we talking about, though? I don't think I missed anything right there, did I? Yeah, no. Yeah, yeah. We've covered all this Epic Games stuff. Oh, I've heard about that, dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard about that, Vault. That's really dope, dude. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, that's really cool, man. Yeah. Yeah. So the whole Epic Games, you know, they're apparently struggling. I would like to have a little more details about why this is happening and what they've done to kind of try and not have to do the things they've resorted to at this point, like, you know, firing 16% of their workforce, which is roughly 850 employees, give or take an amount there, as well as selling off Bandcamp, which they just bought like 18 months ago. You know, yeah, we've talked about it. We've hashed it out. It's a, you know, it's always a bit of a weird thing for me to take into consider, like what maybe, because I mean, let's be fair here. Tim Sweeney, the CEO of Epic, is a multi-billionaire individual, and there's always the concern of like, what has gotten them to this point? Because I mean, it seemed like Epic was doing very well for a very long time, and now all of a sudden they're struggling, and why? You know, and what was done to try and save those jobs for those people? You know, if anything, that's what I want to know. Did Tim Sweeney take a pay cut? Did any of the other brass that are making multi-million dollars a year take a pay cut, try and save the employees that have gotten them to where they're at this point? You know, I have, you know, reservations about, you know, whether, I doubt it, you know, I seriously doubt it. It's not the way it usually goes. It's not about usually for these big companies taking a look at your employees that have gotten you where you're at and trying to do everything you can to save those positions for them. It's about what you can do to keep paying yourself and the front office what they make and keep getting them bonuses while you let the little man die off or whatever, you know. I could be wrong, but I'm probably not. Which is why anytime stuff like this happens, I'm always interested in like what the financials are. You know, what's happened over the past year? Where are you investing your money? You know, what's gone awry so terribly wrong that's resulted in you in doing this stuff? And what have you tried to do to, you know, take care of the employees that have gotten you to this point instead of just firing 16% of them, you know? Yeah, dude. Oh, for real? Oh, yo, sick, dude. Yeah, Uncle Earl, bro. Yeah. Dude, I love E40, dude. I love me some E40, dog. Yeah. Because you know that I know that you know who I be, dude. I love E40, dog. Yeah, he's good stuff, dude. Yeah, he's been a legend forever too, bro. He's still popping out the hits and everything too, Doug. You know, I love it. I love it. Oh nah, dude, never met him, huh? Nah, I bet he's a cool cat though, dude. Yeah, I bet he's a cool cat. Yeah, we knew about this already. We talked about that. Fallout 76 Dev Diary expands massively on the Atlantic City DLC coming out. Let's take a look at that. One second. Sorry. Have you met him, dude? Three of the 5 top wishlisted Steam games are city builders. I think that it's safe to say that probably I always want to call it SimCity, dude. That's not it. The second one's about to drop. I always want to call it SimCity, dude. City Skylines, yeah. Yeah, a bunch of times. For real, dude? No way. That's so dope, dude. I'm jealous, bro. That's sick, dude. I'm really jealous, dude. E40's up there in like my top like 5 rappers of all time, dude. Easy. Yeah. Yeah. Me and one of my buddies from back home, Doug, we would just always roll around listening to E40, dude. Always. Yeah. No way, dude. For real? Yo, that's sick, Doug. So your house is like actually in the video and stuff? That's sick, man. That's dope. Nice. That's really cool, man. We were actually just talking about one of the most wishlisted Steam games over like the past year and a half that just kind of got lost in obscurity. It's still supposed to be releasing in November. What was it? Poor Man's Side Draw. I'll have to look up the video for it, dude. Were you like peeping out the window or something, dog? Or were you out in the front yard? You know what I mean? You were like 13? Bro, you totally should have been out there. Yeah. Mom didn't let you. Dude, that would have been my mom too, bro. Yeah, that would have been my mom too, dog. No doubt about it. Yep. That's funny. I'll have to check it out, dude. I'll have to check it out. That's funny, bro. Nice. Let's get out of that holiday music. There we go. What is it? The day before. What was the name of that game? We'll talk about it when I pull this up. But yeah. Was he? Yo, that's sick, dude. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Nice. Looks like we've got a new Spider-Man 2 trailer. Dude, they're really promoting the crap out of that game right now. I mean, it's appropriate. It makes sense. It's a Sony proprietary game, right? From Insomniac. It's a hype game. Insomniac has made bangers before with Spider-Man entries, and they know that there are a lot of people that are excited about this, and they're trying to get as many people hyped up about Spider-Man right now as possible, Spider-Man 2. So, you know, they're putting a lot into the marketing and promotion of Spider-Man 2 right now. But we'll watch the new trailer and see what's up. We've seen a lot of that game already, but Arkham Trilogy has been delayed on Switch because Switch is old and busted hardware. But you know, let's take a look at what they're saying there about that. Bro. I said this before when I first read this. Anybody planning on going over and doing video game streaming off of like Elon Muskrat's platform, whatever you want to call it. I still call it Twitter. I don't care, dude. I think good luck. Right now, that's what I would say. This guy is great at crushing stuff. He's great at screwing stuff up. You know? Wait, what? Twitch is dead. Fans react to Elon Musk testing video game streaming on X. No way, bro. Yo, I gotta bring this up. I know it's not, you know, specific video gaming news, but this is appropriate. We're gonna take a look at this. Yeah, dude, I do not think so. No. It's kind of like, dude, what's been going on with Kick also? You know, Kick was getting like hyped up there for a bit, and now all of a sudden, like, I don't hear anything about Kick anymore at all, dude. To be fair, one of the things I was talking about whenever Kick was was like being promoted and stuff, they needed a better face for that, in my opinion. Personal opinion. What's that dude's name? That was like one of the first big names to go over to Kick, dude. Yeah, it's doing good, but the growth isn't what it was. Look, I'm glad it's doing good. Here's the thing. I'm glad Kick's doing good. I don't want it to fail. I want it to thrive. I want it to thrive. Because Twitch needs competition. Aiden Ross, Jesus Christ, yes. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But that dude is total cringe to me, man. You know? Microsoft needs to bring back Mixer. Bro. Yeah. I thought there were a lot of people I think that liked Mixer. You know, I never really spent any time on there. But I think there were a lot of people that liked Mixer. I think their business plan for Mixer was bad. I think that's what really screwed them up with that. But I think the thing with Kick is like, I think Kick's got something good core there, you know? And I think they need better personalities to kind of be the headliners for what that platform is. I'm sorry, dog, but is somebody like Aiden Ross, I don't know. I mean, obviously that personality, that guy appeals to enough of an audience that he's become popular, but there's too much controversy. You know what I mean? I think for an up and coming platform to be dealing with the all the downs that somebody like that's going to bring to the table too, it's not a great look in my opinion. You know what I mean? And he's a huge turnoff for somebody like me. Huge turnoff, dude. I get it. There's a lot of those, you know, these like little edgelord 13-year-olds that think that these like content creators like Aiden Ross and I Show Speed and stuff are cool or whatever, but to a lot of other people, they're not appealing. And to a lot of other content creators, I don't think that like having those kinds of personalities as the face of your platform is really the way to bring other content creators in necessarily. You know, I that's just my own personal opinion though. There'll be other people that disagree with that notion, and that's fine. So I don't know. I mean, it takes all kinds. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? It takes all kinds, and I get that. But it seemed like a weird play to have somebody like that be like the centerpiece of trying to pull other people in to be part of your platform. It was a weird play, I thought. But I'm glad Kick's still doing well. I mean, I'll be real on. I mean, I've got an account set up on there in case we need to switch over, you know. I talked about this previously. Twitch has done a lot of stuff that's been kind of scummy, man, and they keep trying to get over more and more and more on content creators. They take more and more advantage of content creators, and it's not a good look. It's honestly kind of a scary thing, and I don't enjoy that. I've always liked Twitch, and I still think it's the best platform to be on currently, but that doesn't mean it always will be. So I'm always going to be weighing my options. And I would never do anything without consulting the entirety of our community and everything too, because it's important to me what our community would be, you know, consensus interested in doing in light of options moving forward. But I've got my account on there just in case we need to move over or whatever. But who knows, dude? Who knows, Vault? Maybe Mixer comes back into the mix, as it were, you know, or Microsoft anyways, in the future. I don't know that they would call it Mixer again. Probably not. Probably call it something else. I think their business plan was bad, dude. But more competition's good. You know what I mean? I think more competition's good. How to make our own streaming platform? Jesus Christ. All right. Well, I'm gonna let you handle the getting all this set up, Vault, and then, you know, we'll work out the contract of, you know what I mean, us doing this collaboration together, and you get the platform rolling out, dog. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't have the time to be working on something like that. Jesus Christ. I haven't coded in so long too, dude, that it would be a flipping mess. I haven't coded in a long time. Yeah, 10th through the 11th is going to be Prime Day. Prime sells a glory. Yeah, Davey. I mean, we're going to have to... you're going to have to pitch us some ideas, Doc. You know, we can't just be like, oh, yeah, sure, be the mascot. But we need to know what we're talking about here. You got to pitch us some ideas, bro. Honestly, I mean, Vault is the one that really got this idea flowing. So I think he's going to be the one that you're going to have to... You know, I'm just going to be the face of this, really, you know. Vault's going to be kind of more the Perfect. Yeah. That's the only requirement. If you're going to be on camera on this new platform, you just got to wear a bikini. And, well, count me in. What's up, Davey? Oh, man. Bro, nobody wants to see me in a bikini either. Look, I don't think most people probably wanted to even see me in a Princess Leia outfit, but hey, they got it, baby. You know what I mean? You know, it's not about what they want, it's about what they get, you know. See for yourself. What's up, True? What's going on? Yo. Alright, my bad. I'm gonna have to keep working out if I'm gonna get back into some skimpy clothes like that. I've been looking rough, dude. Real thick. Yo, what's up, True? Good morning, my friend. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, guys. Yeah, look, we've already talked about this. Just so you know, you can get, what is it, through Verizon. You can, if you buy an Xbox Series X through Verizon right now, you can get Starfield for free. If you buy an Xbox Series X through Target right now, you get a selection of various different games, one of many different selection of games for free, including Starfield if that's your choice. And also right now, if you wanted to get into a PS5, then I think you've got roughly 3 more weeks. It's, I think, through the 24th of this month. If you buy a PS5 for the first time, then you will get a selection of like roughly 15 different first-party PlayStation games, being things like Demon's Souls, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, Ragnarok, what else? Horizon, Zero Dawn, bunch of them. Spider-Man stuff, bunch of different games. There's like 15 different games. So, and I think all that is run through PlayStation though. So I don't think it really matters. You would need to research it though. I think the PlayStation stuff is, it doesn't matter where you buy it. You basically set up in your PS5 for the first time and get into their shop, and it's like, oh, hey, look, you bought a PS5 for the first time during this promotion or whatever. You get to pick a free game and you get a digital copy or whatever. So just look into it, okay? There's a lot of, certain retailers are doing this for Xbox. PlayStation's doing their thing. You can get a free title or whatever, basically. Epic Games Director of Publishing Strategy is leaving the company also. Let's talk about this. There's a lot going on at Epic right now. Oh, yo. What's this lady's name? Oh, wait. Okay, this was a different thing. Never mind. Okay. Looks like Team 17's got a bunch of layoffs coming through as well, though. Jesus, dude. Kind of crazy. Ubisoft is coming out with Rocksmith Plus piano catalog with Billy Joel. Let's take a look at that. Dude, these new 7TV emotes are bangers, dude, for the spooky times. Pinky said that there's a ton of them for Christmas as well, so he's gonna work on getting a list together for all of the Christmas ones too. I haven't spent nearly as much time on doing the 7TV stuff as Pinky has here recently, so there's some weird ins and outs of it, I think, but he's got it pretty fleshed out. So I think he's going to get us some holiday ones going a lot after the and I think he's getting it's basically you can switch between the lists. So it'll be like we've got the normal list. I think he's got like the Halloween list set up now, And I think he's going to get the holiday one set up too. So moving forward, we'll just be able to switch between the lists as like different holidays come up and everything. So it'll be much easier, much more like kind of streamlined and intuitive moving forward. But initially, it's a matter of like switching them out for the different versions. But yeah, he said there's a bunch of holiday ones, like we have, like more holiday themed, like Christmas themed and stuff. That he's going to work on trying to get a list together for. So whenever we're done with the Halloween ones, the spooky vibes ones, we'll have like all these like nice little holiday vibe ones that we'll be able to rock with for the remainder of the year, which should be a lot of fun. Shout out to Pinky. You can play this life-ruining horror game on Steam for free. What is this crap? Oh my god. Oh my god, what is this? Wow, this looks awesome. Okay, hold on, dude. Fish horror, yeah. Life ruining. I know. I know. I can't wait to see that article, dude. Yeah, we're actually listening to some flipping holiday tunes. Let me change that. Let's go. Bethesda just stealth dropped a new Elder Scrolls mobile game. I think we've already seen this, but we'll take a peek. Wait, what? Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. I mean, is anybody surprised? EA Sports FC 24. So if you're not familiar with this title, that's because this is the name of EA's new soccer/football game, right? So they are no longer associated with FIFA. So their games are now called EA Sports FC, right? But players say that $30 launch week loot box highlights everything wrong with Ultimate Team. It's an EA game. I mean, did you expect anything less than this? You know? Balls. I love it, dude. Yeah, we'll hit on this, dude. EA can get wrecked, dude. That company's so gross, dude. Balls. That's all that said. Yeah, exactly true. Yo, I gotta find that clip. I got a clip of me doing like the whole EA like throw up thing. Like, yeah. I've got to get that GIF done, dude. So we have a GIF where anytime we talk about EA, people start spamming the whole, EA throw up thing. You know, I've got to find out what I did with it though. I'm pretty sure I clipped it somewhere. I just got to go find it. I'll try to see if I can find it tomorrow. I gotta get out, dude. I think I'm gonna have some montages done by the end of tomorrow though. Tomorrow's day off, right? So I think I'm gonna have some new montages done, which should be great. I'm really excited. PlayStation Plus free game is an iconic open world RPG. Let's see what that is. Unity is screwed, dude. Unity's screwed, bro. I think the only thing that saves Unity at this point is some kind of total overhaul of like, let's see, here's what I want to look up real quick. Okay, let's look up Unity Software's chief financial officer 3 hours ago has sold 3,186 shares of stock. Let's take a look at this real quick. I knew they were going to drop pretty bad. I want to see a graph for what's happened like over about the past 3 weeks for Unity. Actually, that's what I want to see. Oh, check this out. Yeah, let's talk about this. This is probably going to be a nice article. Unity Fallout continues. Dev group shuts down while developers refuse to come back. Yo, this is nice. Yeah. We'll read about this. They're suffering, dude. Pretty bad. And you know what I've said the whole time. So we'll read about this probably to end the news segment, but I've kind of said the whole time, I don't think there's any like reconciling for any kind of redemption there for Unity. As long as the same people are running that company is going to continue to suffer. They've shown their true colors. They've shown what they're about. They've shown all of their current and potential future customers what they are willing to do, and it's inevitably going to lead to just continued standoffs from current customers and potential future customers avoiding them entirely. So I don't think there's any coming back. I think the best thing that would probably happen here is their stock continues to fall. They get bought out by a decent company. Because look, to be fair, we need that competition. We need Unity. We need that engine. We don't, you know what I mean? Not that there aren't some other smaller engines, but the two biggest engines out there for developers to use, Unity and Unreal, right? And so we need the competition, in my opinion. And the best thing that could happen is that they get bought out by somebody, that entire front office gets stripped out, that decided on these changes, and that company goes, look, new management, new owners, we're getting everything back to the way it was. You know what I mean? Come back. Everything's fine. It'll be okay. You know, I think that's probably the best thing that could happen here. But we're just gonna have to wait and see, and we'll see what extra is happening here with the Unity stuff. But let's kick it off, baby. Let's turn off this music. Bop. Cool. PlayStation Plus free games, and dude, I'm starving this morning, by the way. What else is new? I know, but PlayStation Plus free games, an iconic open world RPG, perfect for this time of year. Sony's PS Plus subscription service is stacked with games for customers to enjoy across a wide variety of genres, including RPGs, first-person shooters, and racers. Depending on the PS Plus tier that you subscribe to, you will have hundreds of video games to choose from, with more recent titles and those of yesteryear from the original PlayStation era. It's fair to say that there's always a little something for everyone. One of the most popular games on the PS Plus subscription service is Bethesda's legendary RPG, The Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Considering this game was initially released in 2011, it's amazing that gamers are still having fun with this absolute classic. Some fans will no doubt have racked up playtimes in the thousands of hours. Absolutely. And it's a great game for modders, and, you know, as Bethesda games are, and it's had a lot of wild stuff. There's a great mod in the game, like for, I promote this a lot. Anybody replaying the game, I think that a great way to play the game would be to use the Unarmed Finishers mod that's out there, where you basically you do an unarmed combat play style, and anytime you if you're running this mod, anytime you end up killing an enemy, on the last hit if you're running this mod, you do like wild, crazy, like back suplexes or like pile drivers and stuff to like finish the enemies, and it always goes into like slow motion to show you just like crushing them with these wrestling moves. It's hilarious and super brutal. It's awesome looking. There's a lot of cool stuff about Skyrim, and they're talking about it now. Skyrim features a massive map in the world of Tamriel with an engaging story, fun side quests, wacky NPCs, and so much more. It's also very mod friendly, like I was just saying, on both PC and recent consoles. Another positive of Skyrim is how gorgeous the game still looks, especially when it comes to its 2021 special edition. What's more, Skyrim adapts as its 4 seasons change. Personally, I think Skyrim looks the most aesthetically pleasing during the winter season, with the snow falling down on its highest peak dubbed the Throat of the World. Best of all, if you subscribe to either PS Plus Extra or Premium tier, you can claim the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition at no extra cost today. The Special Edition not only includes all previously released DLC, but also has mod support. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this game has been iconic for a long time, dude. And it's still played just by gamers all over the world today and everything. So, if you've never played Skyrim, which I cannot recommend more that you go give it a shot, here's your chance if you've got a subscription to PS Plus, And speaking of Bethesda, they just dropped a new Elder Scrolls mobile game, Elder Scrolls Castles, released in early access on Android. What is this? Video game developer and publisher of Fallout fame, Bethesda, has stealth dropped a new game on Android, available only on the Google Play Store and to a limited number of people. As a new title in the Elder Scrolls series named The Elder Scrolls Castles, the medieval fantasy franchise has once again made the journey to mobile, following in the footsteps of 2019 series spinoff, The Elder Scrolls Blades. Available to a select few in early access, little is known about Castles beyond its simulation genre and the gameplay loop to suit. Players will manage and staff their castles, rule their kingdoms, and undertake quests. No iOS version currently, so only Android at the moment. Yeah, that's about all there really is for this. But I mean, looks like it's like early access right now, so I don't know how many people would be able to actually get in and try this out. But if you are a Bethesda fan and you do some mobile gaming, it might be worth it. And again, if you've got an Android device or if you've got an Android emulator, or even you're trying out the Google Play, I'm sure if you've got the Google Play like beta desktop access, you might be able to find it on there, because that's been rolling out on desktop and everything now as well. But specifically on Android, it's not going to be on iOS, so understand that. But you might go search around and see if you can find it or not. I think it is just early access right now, though, so it might be a bit difficult. Here's your link, though. All right, here we go, dude. Anybody surprised by this is just got to be kind of ignorant about, and ignorant meaning just not educated, not aware of what EA is about. EA Sports FC 24 players say $30 launch week loot box highlights everything wrong with Ultimate Team. Yeah, I've talked about a lot, like I used to play a lot of EA Sports games back in the day. the NHL games were my jam, dude. I loved them. Back in the like early to mid 20 teens, used to flip and pre-order those games all the time, until I started noticing that EA really just did not give a crap about doing anything to improve those games. And they actually started doing things to kind of make the mode that I played even worse, which was like um, the club game stuff, club stuff that you would play online with other people and everything. It started getting worse and worse, where all they would focus on was the ultimate team. So basically, it was this whole mechanic where they wanted you to pay full price for the game, and then they're also like just wanting everybody to play ultimate team, which is basically just loot boxing to get you know cards with real players on them, and put those onto your team and play other people online with it and stuff. And it just came off real scummy to me, man. And they do it with all their games. And the thing about it is, most of their games don't improve, really. It's like the same game year after year. All they really do is, it feels like anyways, and even looks like, they just take last year's game, they slap the new year on it, take out the players that aren't playing from the year before, put in the new year, the new players that are playing in this year, and they're like, all right, it's good, man. Push it out. Raise the prices on the Ultimate Team stuff. Ultimate Team is EA's controversial cash cow that brings in hundreds of millions of dollars to the publisher's coffers every year. While FIFA players are well used to EA Sports adding expensive and powerful card packs later in the year-long life of the annualized football game with the launch of FC24, the community has reacted in shock to a $30 pack available to buy before the game even properly launched. The Elite Season Opener pack, currently available in the store, costs 285,000 Ultimate Team coins in the in-game currency, or 3,000 FC points, the premium currency. 3,000 FC points cost around $30. In true video game monetization fashion, FC24 does not let you buy 3,000 FC points exactly in one bundle. Yeah, big surprise. So you'll have to buy either like a $40 or $50 bundle, or like, it'll probably be like or you'll have to be buying like two $20 bundles, something like that, right? Yeah, check it out. Yeah, so they gave you just almost enough. This is exactly that kind of EA play, dude. This is what they do. So you can see right here, the pack costs 3,000 FC points. But if you want to get 3,000 FC points, you've either got to buy two of these, which would put you at 3,200 FC points. Yeah. Or you would have to buy two or three of these. That would be like what, 24 euros? Same as this, 24 euros. Or this, you'd have to buy two of these, or one of these and two of these, or one of these and one of these, or just one of these, and then you could buy another one of these, and you could get two of the packs, but they don't give you an exact amount that you could just get this pack with, right? That's what they do, man. All this, you see, EA is not the only one that does this, though. Let's be fair, okay? EA is not the only one that does this. This Elite Season Opener pack is so powerful, it's causing some players to call FC24 pay to win right out the gate. It contains 45 rare gold players rated 80 or higher, one of two player pick lone base hero rated 87 or higher, one of two player pick lone base hero rated 88 or higher. This stuff's always been pay to win. It always has. But yeah, this feels real gross. It's worth pointing out the cards included in this pack are untradeable, which means owners can't sell them on the FC24 transfer market. Still, it's a pack that theoretically provides the buyer with a powerful squad at the launch of FC24, which we should remember is a $70 video game on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and $60 on Switch. So a full price AAA video game that they're also just sucking money out of. This is what I talk about all the time. So we had over the past year, AAA video games went up from $60 to $70, and there were a lot of people. I have videos of me explaining this on our YouTube channel, but we had, I had a lot of people that would try and take up for the industry almost. Well, the video games haven't raised prices in 20 years. Yeah, they have. Just not the way that you're looking at it. They had definitely raised in prices, and there's all kinds of monetization things that go on in games where they've raised prices on you. You just don't look at it like that, right? That's where, I think that people being educated on the things that these, especially the big AAA publishers and developers do to you to get that extra money out of you, they're making you pay extra for games. You might not look at it like that because you're not paying upfront extra for those games, but on the back end, you're quite often having to pay extra to get all the content you need out of those games. Whether it be, to get the full experience of something like Ultimate Team gameplay or, DLC that comes out for a game 2 months after it drops, or battle passes, or, you name it, dude. There's all kinds of ways of transactional stuff in games where they're making you, pay more and more and more for games, even over the base price of the game, right? That's the thing that people have to take a critical look at. And, this comes down to, the industry talking about, oh, it's inflation. It's inflation. We need to raise the price of games off of the, retail games off the shelf. It's like, dude, you've been raising prices of games. Just, you're trying to make it look like you haven't. And then we've got Capcom CEO, which I just put an article up on our YouTube page the other day. Capcom CEO comes out and says, hey, we need to raise the prices again. Excuse me? What? Capcom CEO comes out and says that their company needs to raise prices on us again for their AAA games. After something especially as scummy as, Exo Primal was. Give me a break, dude. When's it stop? This is the kind of stuff I talk about. You support the great companies that continue to breed. And look, I'm not one of those people that is against paying companies for great content. And the more time you get out of a piece of content, I think the more appropriate it is that you should put money towards the companies that give you great content you're willing to just spend mass amounts of time in. That's appropriate, right? But let's be very honest here. Most AAA studios are not giving you that kind of content anymore. They give you content which, let's just take a single player campaign kind of game anymore. AAA price tag now is $70, and the average gameplay experience that you're going to get hours wise, and I'm saying, there are outliers, don't get me wrong, so hold the criticism for a moment, but more often than not, the average amount of game time you're going to get out of a game, and it's not even going to be a great experience. It'll be mediocre, and I'm talking about like the average baseline of AAA releases. Somewhere between 15 to 20 hours worth of content for 70 hours or $70, and it's just mediocre usually, nothing mind-blowing, memorable really. But they need to raise prices again? Give me a break, man. Come on. And again, don't get me wrong. There are outliers, right? You take games like, anything. There are certain companies like CDPR. They make these great, massive worlds for us to dive into as long as they perform well, CDPR. And, Bethesda as well. And Larian, dude, just came out with an absolute banger. But here's the thing about Larian. You don't see anything extra that you have to pay for, do you? You pay up front for the price of that game, and you're getting tons of time out of it, right? So I think it's appropriate for people to take a really hard look at, what's it mean for you to get your money's worth out of a piece of content? And if you get more than your money's worth of what you pay up front, consider putting more into that company because maybe they deserve it, right? But I don't think that, it's absurd to dive into the notion that many of these big AAA developers and publishers are not providing us with the kind of content, the quality, the quality content and quality performance-wise performing games that deserve that amount of money. Most of them don't. Some of them do. Most of them don't. Here are the probabilities as of the morning of October 1st. A gold 75 plus player and gold 82 plus player 100%. Gold 90 plus player 5.6%. UCL road to the knockouts player 10%. UWCL road to the knockouts player 1.8%. Elite, and this was for the Elite Season Opener Pack. Elite Season Opener Pack again. Well, the Elite Season Opener Pack causing such a stir. Not only is one of the most expensive store packs in the history of Ultimate Team, it was available before the game even actually officially released. FIFA fans can't remember EA Sports dropping a pack this expensive this early ever. Even though this pack offers buyers a better chance of getting one of the best cards currently in Ultimate Team, the odds are that you will not. It may well be the case that you get 45 players rated in the low 80s, or plenty of duplicates depending on how many cards you already have in your club. Quote, knew it was bad value, but figured I'd get something. Redditor Appearance Deficit said, 185 fodder, 26 duplicates, all below 83 rated, put dupes into gold upgrades and got nothing. Essentially got a poor $100,000 pack, or 100,000 pack for 3 times the price. That's going to be the in-game currency that they're talking about there. 30 pounds. There's absolutely no way I should be normalized for people to spend that amount of money on a game which is already overpriced. Redditor, was that Tofun said, in 2 weeks' time, you won't have any interest in any of those players you pulled in unless it is an absolute insane pull. Not to mention this game has a life cycle of less than a year at a nice 125, or NYSE at 125. Realistically, spending anything over $30 to $40 should net you some of the best players for the rest of the game. Obviously, it's a good pack, but please seek therapy if you're buying this. First week of FIFA and you're dropping $30 on an untradeable pack. Some FIFA players think this pack this early in the life of FC24 marks the continuation of EA Sports' strategy of gearing content towards store packs rather than objectives such as squad building challenges. Quote, LOL, literally just getting pack content. Business ad 561 said, where are the objectives? SBCs. Dead game, man. Yep. Like I said before, this is the same kind of stuff that I saw, back in the day where EA was headed with the games that I used to play. It's just where they get their sole focus is just Ultimate Team and how they can continue to monetize it even more and more and more to a greater extent. They don't care about anything else but making people pay more money, more money, more money. That's it. GI Biz reports sales of FC24's physical version are 30% down on those of FIFA 23 in the UK, while digital sales may well make up some of this difference. It seems EA Sports' switch from FIFA to FC has had an early days impact. Perhaps sales of this Elite Season Opener Pack will soften the blow. Probably, unfortunately. Yeah, EA Sports for some time now has faced criticism of Ultimate Team, which has come under fire from children's groups and researchers in recent years for its link to gambling. It absolutely is. It is. It's gambling in gaming form. It's the same thing as gacha games or whatever, and I've got my stance on this. I've talked about it a lot, and I'll give it to you again in a moment. From players for enabling pay to win in competitive modes. Publisher has so far stuck to its guns, insisting players love Ultimate Team packs and equating their availability through in-game or premium currency as player choice. It is player choice. It's also an addiction, though. Last year, the UK government stopped short of taking action on loot boxes, despite finding that players who buy loot boxes are more likely to experience gambling, mental health, financial, and problem gaming related harms. Instead, the government said it does not consider loot boxes to be the same as gambling, and as a result, will not make changes to the Gambling Act. This year, the UK video gaming industry agreed new principles and guidance on paid loot boxes, but experts predict it will have little meaningful impact on EA Sports efforts. Yeah, so I mean, there's no doubt about it. Like, this has been an area of contention across the world through different governments regarding the video gaming industry. There are certain areas in Europe where they've taken a huge stance about not allowing this kind of thing to happen. I think Netherlands have been a big one. Maybe even places like Romania, and Spain's been a big one too, where they are not about this stuff, dude. And here's the thing. I do think that these kinds of mechanics need to be kept away from children. It is a basically gambling mechanic, right? You are rolling the dice. You're doing RNG based chances is what it is. Random number generator, right? So you're talking about a chance based mechanic where you're paying real world money to try and get something that you're hopeful for. And it's a rush for a lot of people, right? Same exact thing that goes down for anybody that is addicted to gambling or enjoys the thrill of gambling in an atmosphere of somewhere like Las Vegas or what have you. It's the same kind of thing. They're chasing that same rush, that dopamine rush of, getting what they're after. In the gaming world, it's usually, gotcha games do it, where you're trying to get specific characters to play in your, quite often in parties for your game that will give you an increased power, to play with or whatever. And it's the same thing for this. It's the exact same thing. It's just in a sports environment instead. You're taking a chance. You're spending real world money to try and get some of the most powerful characters or players to be a part of your team to play the game with. Right? It's a very gambling-esque mechanic that people can get addicted to. Therefore, I do feel very strongly that children whom are not necessarily equipped at young ages to mentally deal with and understand what addiction is about, right? I feel like this kind of stuff needs to be kept away from them. Adults, okay, there are plenty of adults out there that aren't equipped to deal with it either. There are plenty of adults out there that are addicted to gambling and things of that nature. But you're an adult. Adults, you know what I mean? You make your own money. You can spend it however you want. There's, in my opinion, there aren't a whole lot of things that where other people should be able to tell you how you spend your money or whatever. You want to spend it on loot boxes in an EA video game? I'm not a fan of it, but I'm also, who am I to tell you not to do that, But there are still potentially consequences of doing that. You still cannot deny the fact that it is a very, addictive kind of mechanic for a lot of people. They're chasing that rush. And whether you're talking about in an EA game or any other, loot box gotcha mechanic, it's all relatively the same thing. And EA is terrible about it, But they make a lot of money off of it, which is why they're going to continue to strive to do it to a greater and greater extent and not care about what it does to people's lives or anything like that, So, I don't know. I would say if you have any kind of addictive gambling tendencies, these are the kinds of games you should probably be trying to stay away from because they're a trigger, dude. No doubt about it. And ultimately, adults are responsible for their actions, and I'm not one to try and tell other people how they should necessarily, be spending their money or whatever. But I do think that it's important that children be kept away from this stuff until they're mentally equipped and mature enough to understand the repercussions of what this kind of addiction can do to you in your life. I am pretty steadfast on that notion. Flipping EA, dude. Boss of Worms Company, Team 17 axed amid sweeping layoffs. UK games industry redundancies continue. So Worms maker Team 17 is set for significant layoffs as well as the exit of its CEO. Eurogamer reported Team 17's quality assurance department will bear the brunt of the layoffs with around 50 roles at risk. The consultation process is set to end in November, while meanwhile, CEO Michael Pattison is expected to leave. Team 17 confirmed the layoffs in a statement to IGN, although it insisted its Astragon and Story Toys businesses are unaffected. Quote, in response to the reports concerning the departure of Michael Pattison from Team 17, we can confirm we have amicably parted ways with Michael. We can also confirm that we have sadly entered into a period of consultation today with Team 17 Digital, with Astragon and Story Toys remaining unaffected by the restructuring plans. A 2022 Eurogamer report into Team 17 revealed concern among staff about pay, working conditions, and management failures. Changes were promised as a result. Team 17 Group PLC shares have fallen steadily throughout this year, with the company losing almost half of its value since January. Brutal. Last month, Team 17 reported strong, quote, strong revenue growth for the first half of its financial year ending June 30th and insisted it expects full year results in line with expectations. Revenue increased 31% to just under £70 million, with gross profit up 18% to £30.2 million. Company was sitting on net cash of £45.2 million, with a group headcount of 438, up from 392 for the 2022 financial year. Team 17 games launched this year, including Dredge, Trepang 2, and Killer Frequency. We also just played, so Dredge and Trepang 2 are actually killing it, by the way, as well as, and I think Killer Frequency's done pretty well too. This game looks awesome. And AK Oxalata was Team 17, I'm pretty sure. Which not as notable, but we just played that. No, it wasn't Team 17. What was the other Team 17 game that I was thinking of then? There was another game we just played that was a Team 17. Interesting. But these are all bangers, dude. Yeah. News of Team 17 layoffs and the latest development in what has been a torrid time for the UK video game industry. IGN reported on significant redundancy set for Sega-owned Creative Assembly after the cancellation of extraction shooter Hyenas. Yep, which was weird. And Fall Guys developer Mediatonic was said to have been decimated by the roughly 850 layoffs that happened at Epic. We've talked about that as well. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, how is Team 17 doing so terrible with these awesome games they've pushed out, dude? Or published, It's weird, dude. Well, looks like Team 17 is in trouble. Exclusive piano of Billy Joel and Coldplay are coming to Rocksmith Plus, launching with a catalog of 300 songs and more in store. Okay, that'll work. Rocksmith Plus is 1 year old, and to celebrate, Ubi is adding piano on PC and mobile devices with 300 new songs, including classics from Billy Joel and Coldplay. Piano is Rocksmith's first new instrument in over 10 years. Was a natural and essential next step for the franchise. While Rocksmith Plus's launch lineup was a point of contention, Schroeder says he feels confident in the starting selection of 300 songs, some of which are Coldplay Clocks, which won't release until the 24th of October. Alicia Keys' If I Ain't Got You, which is available now on guitar and bass. Billy Joel, Piano Man, on October 24th. The White Stripes, My Doorbell, nice, October 24th. Ludwig van Beethoven, Für Elise, on October 24th. And Linkin Park Lost, which is available now on guitar and bass. Full launch catalog features a mix of piano exclusive tracks and some repurposed recordings for guitar and bass. Some of these include classic hits from artists like The Cure and Linkin Park that Ubi recently added thanks to a new licensing deal with Warner Music. We still have a long way to go, but I think we've matured as a live service. Really proud the team has been able to keep up with new releases, bug fixes, and improvements. Excited to keep expanding. We've got some cool surprises in store. There's a link down there to an interview they did about this, so if you want it. But if you're into the music video game scene, dude, this looks like a cool play. With Coldplay. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Oh, here we go, dude. This looks great. You can play, or we can play. You can also. We can all play. I'm gonna maybe try this. You could too. Life-ruining horror game on Steam for free. What is this? This is terrifying looking. Does that fish have eyebrows, dude? What? How Fish is made is a horror game about life-altering choices. You can't immediately tell from the free Steam game's dumpy sardine graphics, I know. It and its new Katamari Damacy type expansion, which primarily serves as an entertaining ad for Swedish developer Wrong Organ's forthcoming game Mouthwashing, are short and crude, but playing it moved me in a way few games have this year. The 40-minute long narrative adventure first enjoyed YouTube fame in 2022 shortly after it released. Put me in a sardine's scaly body, which seems to have no needs and looks like it was born from a PlayStation 1. I'm out of water but still alive. A bigger fish confronts me immediately, up or down. Do you understand yet? One sardine eventually asks me, pressing the game's balanced tone, half amusing. The fish are talking to me like God would, and half disturbing. The fish are talking to me like God would. Lower into serious commentary or existence, this choice that has given me given to a worthless critter like you. Kind of, I think, in a translation of existentialist Bible being and nothingness, Jean-Paul Sartre writes that anguish has not appeared to us as a proof of human freedom. The latter was given to us as the necessary condition for the question. I imagine the same applies to sardines. That's sort of still funny, like how Fishes made mini expansion, in which I roll my sardine around in a tonsil stone lump. I thoughtlessly absorb a whole fish into my crinkles, but earlier in the game I trigger a nearly 3-minute long parasite montage delivered by a tongue-eating louse. Oh, those things are terrifying, dude. Have you guys seen those? They're so terrifying. Look. If you don't know what look, check this out. Have you seen this? There are these tongue-eating like parasites for fish, and they absolutely totally like they crawl in there. Have you not seen this before? Oh, bro, these are not even the worst images. Let me hook you up here. Yeah. You'll love this. Yeah, check this noise out. They actually replace the fish's tongue, dude. Yes. Oh yes. Yes. So good. Replace the tongue, dude. They crawl in their mouth, they eat the tongue of the fish, and they replace the tongue. Isn't that terrifying? Holy crap, dude. Yeah. And then they continue to feed off of everything that the fish eats. It's horror month. You're welcome. Fantastic. Yes. So, that is in fact a real thing, just so you know. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. I found out about this like years and years and years ago, and I was like, oh man, that is some nightmare fuel. Um, Yeah, I trigger a nearly 3 minute long parasite montage delivered by a tongue eating louse I find in my fish comrade's mouth, which insinuates my death. I shove my way through a throbbing pink tunnel, and I feel like I'm watching myself undergo a moral colonoscopy. Colonoscopy, excuse me. There's the magic part of this strange little video game which pokes and taunts its player more than the idiot fish on screen. It makes me sit with uncertainty, a clouded mirror. I hate looking in. The horror of how fish is made isn't the loose bones I gasp under, or the plates of flickering eyeballs that watch me as the game progresses and becomes even more surreal as I get closer to choosing something certain, up or down. I'm a fish with no freedom. The game suggests no freedom, only a finite number of choices. There are benefits to embracing a game like that. Playing catch in your mind with how often you've chosen wrong and why. Putting so much value in your actions can make you feel like you really are alive. There are consequences to it, sure, but there's also relief you identify as grief. Or maybe the weird free Steam game is only a weird free Steam game. Either way, I'll be thinking about how fish is made for a long time. Yo, what? That's insane. Let's go. No way, dude. Oh my god. Overwhelmingly positive. 95%. Oh my god, dude. I'll link this for you guys in just a moment. Take a look at this. Oh, there it is, dude. Nice. Oh, yeah, that's true. True. Spooky season's here. Last one, and then another. Okay. Weird. Here you go. If you're interested, not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna grab this. And we'll just, if we have a little bit of like extra time one day, we'll just like play this or whatever. All you have to do is just add it to your library. It's yours. It's free. Just add it to your library. Boom, easy. You know what I mean? Why not? Free game. Looks like a blast. Microsoft reveals more games leaving Xbox Game Pass in October. I think we've already talked about this, but let's make sure. Trek to Yomi. Trek to Yomi, Legend of Tianding, Turnip Boy commits tax evasion, and Evil. Yeah, we've kind of hit on these, but if you weren't aware, then these should be leaving. Yeah, plenty of games should be joining in October as well, but did it say the exact date? They might already be gone. I don't know. But check it out. Here's your link if you've got Game Pass, and those are the games that are leaving. So if they're not gone yet, and you were wanting to play any of those, you can get them at like a 20% discount to own. But you know, Just so you know, I guess. Yeah, true. The new Minecraft DLC is a fully voiced D&D adventure. This is wild. Minecraft has given the Forgotten Realms a cubic makeover in the new Dungeons and Dragons DLC. The friends I play D&D with are curiously also the same friends who get the annual itch to set up a Minecraft server. And at least once a year, we disappear into the realm of right angles and are lost to the world. As well as this crossover in interests, both D&D and Minecraft provide a space to be creative, social, and enjoy free-form play. So this collaboration between Wizards of the Coast and Everbloom Games seems a natural fit. In this DLC, you can choose from 4 classes: Barbarian, Paladin, Rogue, and Wizard. Though obviously a limited selection next to the tabletop game, you'll be able to specialize by allocating stat points wherever you'd prefer. You'll be looting, upgrading, monster slaying, and of course, rolling a lot of dice. Seeing some of D&D's classic monsters in the iconic Minecraft style is alone worth the price of entry. Blocky mimics, mind flayers, and beholders. Yes, please. Those familiar with the setting will also get a kick from experiencing some known areas like Candlekeep, Icewind Dale, and Revel's End. To name a few, the D&D DLC trailer shows some extravagant builds, varied weapons and armor, plenty more that had me sending out a group message to try and get a party together ASAP. It's fully voiced, the expansion is, with its own custom soundtrack, and is part of what seems to be an ongoing collaboration between the two properties. Either this year's Wizards of the Coast released the third edition of their earlier this year's Wizards of the Coast released the third edition of their monstrous compendium with a Minecraft Creatures edition. Yeah, cool. Which is a Minecraft Creatures edition. If you ever wanted to know a Creeper's proficiency bonus or a Enderman's passive perception, then this D&D Beyond release has you covered with stats, information, and artwork for 5 of Minecraft's staple creatures: a Blaze, Creeper, Enderman, Ender Dragon, and Wolf of the Overworld. Might subtly leave this somewhere my DM can see it in the hopes of a Creeper in our next session. A sprinkle of Minecraft in my D&D, and with this DLC, a big spoonful of D&D in my Minecraft. D&D fans are eating good this year in video games, and after the unforgettable feast of Baldur's Gate 3, this should be a delicious snack. Word. That's pretty neat. Yeah, D&D's been making its way into like all kinds of games, man. To like even Borderlands, you know, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands was supposed to be very D&D based as well. Not like as heavy as something like Baldur's Gate 3 for sure, but you know, still had its like kind of play on that. A new survival game from Blizzard is coming in 2027. Um, if there's anything we know that we can expect out of this, it would be that Blizzard will find a way to monetize this pretty heavily, and they'll probably get DDoSed for it. A new unannounced survival game is coming from Blizzard in 2027. According to the ArtStation profile of Blizzard's principal lead environment artist, Dan John Cox. He's currently working as the lead environment artist on the unannounced game. Um, Update. It's now been said by the user that the 2027 date is inaccurate. Insider Gaming believes that the announcement of this project is likely to be made soon. As far as what this game could be, there's really no information aside from what the profile says. We don't know if it'll be a new IP or a game from an existing IP of the company. Insider Gaming did reach out to Blizzard, but was told by a spokesperson that there was nothing to reveal or discuss. Right now, Blizzard continues to focus on D4, with the game's second season set to start on October 17th with a bunch of vampire stuff. The company is also working on more content for World of Warcraft and Overwatch. Overwatch is getting wrecked right now by fans, or ex-fans, I guess they would be more like. There are also rumors that StarCraft 3 could be in development based on what Jez Corden said in response to fans on Twitter back in July. Yep. There's also the overarching attempt by Microsoft to close its purchase of Activision Blizzard, which should happen sometime very, very soon now, that there are no more real obstacles in the way of that. Fallout 76 Dev Diary expands massively on Atlantic City. Bethesda has uploaded an all-new developer diary that expands on the upcoming Atlantic City expansion that'll be released globally on December 5th. Set to be one of the biggest updates to the game thus far, giving players an entirely new region to explore, all new factions, usable casinos, and much more. Fallout 76's Atlantic City expansion does look like a fantastic offering, arguably the best of its kind since Fallout 76 was released in 2018. In the 14-minute dev diary, Bethesda Game Studios leapt head over heels into the expansion and revealed countless details about it, and it's sizable. There will be 3 expeditions surfacing in Atlantic City, which itself is going to be split up into 2 separate updates over individual seasons. There's an entire end-to-end host of new characters and factions, including families that run Atlantic City, much like the various organizations that ran the Strip in New Vegas. This is the developer diary, which is 14 minutes. We've got a lot of articles still. So I'm not going to watch this developer diary. I will link it so you can watch it if you're interested. We're going to get the gist of this out of this article anyways. But if you're very interested, then I'll link it for you. Ooh, excuse me. And you can watch it yourself, okay? Random mode time, by the way. Random toe. That's not a good sign for today. Let me just tell you that. First random emote to put out there and you get Salt as the game player. Not a good look, you know? Nice, true. It's a fully open and free to explore environment, which immediately sets it apart from the likes of the Pit. Let's not get it confused. It is an expedition experience, but it's so much broader and more unique than what we've come to expect from that term. Players will be traveling from Appalachia to Atlantic City, but when they arrive, there will be more to do and more to bring back to the game's base map. Are you excited? How many people actually play Fallout 76? Interesting. I wonder, monthly player count, almost 7 million. Average monthly players. Really? Live monthly statistics is the summary of the logged Fallout 76 monthly active players. Logged peak numbers, being the number of Fallout 76 players playing simultaneously at the same time. Peak players in a day over the last 30 days was 466,000. More than I figured. Okay. More than I figured. Right on. 3 of the 5 top wishlist Steam games are city builders, and I want to play them all. Yeah, despite sharing a genre, they're all vastly different games. What are we talking about here? Manor Lords. I actually have this wish listed, I think, dude. Let's look at Manor Lords real quick. Yeah, it's on my wish list right now. Indie strategy game for PC, still in development, aims to combine organic medieval city building and real-time battles. This game does look pretty dope, man.
Welcome to Manor Lords.
Let's get to work.
In this video, I'd like to introduce you to some of the core mechanics of the game, including regional development, trade, and military recruitment.
We need more workers here.
The map in Manor Lords is divided into regions. Each region has its own resources, as well as a development tree. When you upgrade the residential buildings in the region, you get development points, which you can spend to unlock new development branches. This means that different regions may specialize in different things. Some may be more optimized for farming, some for mining, and some will process the resources to make expensive goods, like shoes.
God, I would have hated to live back in those times, dude.
Depending on the optimization.
I mean, you know, I think that living back in those times, knowing, you know, what it's like to live in these times, I would have hated to live back then. But, you know, people that lived back then, they didn't know things would be like that this far into, you know, the future or whatever. So it probably wasn't a thing or whatever. But God, looking back on it, dude, those were some rough times, man.
The regional wealth. As the lord or lady, you must tax your towns and villages in order to get money for your personal endeavors.
Brutal times,
there
dude.
Are different taxes giving various benefits. For example, the tithe goes straight to the church, but in return, the church gives you influence. Every so often, the king gives out valuable rewards to the most influential lords on the map, including new territories. You can compliment or insult other lords via the diplomacy system.
Word true, yeah. You mean they're pretty, but dude, what a pain in the butt to wear. For real? Dude, I've seen like everything that had to be put on to wear those stupid dresses. God dang it, dude.
It is now divided
For real?
into 3 unit categories.
Like some of them anyways.
This type of recruits are the peasant militia. You can call
Like the
them
real fancy ones or whatever, you know what I mean?
They grab whatever improvised weapons they have and join the fight. This will hit your economy.
Like almost all of them had like the flipping corset or whatever, you know what I mean? So you're just crushing your flipping insides. And then they got the big flipping like, what was the thing they wore on their like butt to make, you know, the dress like hump up over their butt or whatever? Yeah. Yeah. Dude, corsets sound like absolute balls, dude. Jesus. Like, yeah, like a big bird cage for your booty, yeah. Yeah. I hear what you're saying, though. Like, the dresses were really pretty, you know? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they had a lot of really pretty dresses back then. But the crap that you had to wear underneath them quite often was like boo-boo, man. Yeah. That looks pretty cool, man. That's why I've already got it wish listed. City Skylines 2, obviously. Yeah. And then Frostpunk 2. So let's look at these, okay? Actually, I'll link this for you guys first. This is for Banner Lords. Manor Lords, I mean. Manor Lords, not Banner Lords. City Skyline 2. There it is. Yeah. The thing that's always a bit of a turnoff for me about these City Skylines games, like the first one, if they do the same thing with the second one, the first one was like the base game costs, and then it's like all they just come out with a ton of DLC, and it all costs money, dude. And I'm guessing they're going to do the same thing with City Skylines 2, you know. I mean, the amount of DLC cost is incredible. It's so much money, dude. Yo, what up, Peter? Yeah, like The Sims, exactly, true, yeah. Yep. Same kind of gross monetization mechanic, you know? How you doing, buddy? Happy Tuesday, mate. Yeah, I'll bring it up here in a second. I'll show like the difference. Like, dude, I think it's over like $1,000 worth of DLC. This is City Skylines 2, dude. We're reading an article right now about like some of the most wish-listed games on Steam right now, which are city builder type games. And I knew City Skylines 2 would be on there. This game's releasing here pretty soon, actually. If I remember correctly. Yeah, October 24th, yeah. So, I'll link this for you, but then let me show you something. So, like, this is City Skylines 2, and this is the thing that was always rough for me about City Skylines. Like, check this out. So, City Skylines, bro, where's just the game at? What? So City Skylines, right, is still $30. This game came out in 2015. It's still $30. Yeah, the original one. And check this out. 62 pieces of DLC for this game. $400. $400, dude. For all the DLC. Yeah. So you can see buy City Skylines Collection. And you'll get 9% off, which is $350. I mean, God, dude. You know? Like, Jesus Christ. It's pretty gross, man. So, I mean, I'm willing to bet that, like, City Skylines 2 is going to end up having the same kind of crap. Bro, just wring as much as they can out of people. You know what I mean? Dude, you got me. I don't know. I have no idea. No clue, man. Like, I played like base game of City Skylines, and it was fun. You can play the base game without, you know, like needing the DLC and stuff. That's my thing though, is like you see a lot of the Sims the same way. I mean, look at the Sims 4. Look at this. Sims 4. They just recently made this free to play, but look at all the DLC, dude. This is the one that was over $1,000. $1,164. If you want all the Sims 4 content. They just recently made this free to play. It wasn't until roughly 6 months ago. It finally became free to play. So you had to pay for the base game. Then if you wanted all the DLC content, $1,164. I mean, this is EA, so yeah, I mean, consider me not surprised. You know what I mean? It's disgusting. But I mean, here's same. I'm gonna bring up another one, dude. Just want the puppy expansion? Word, dude. We have a community member that will not be thrilled about me calling this out either, but look at this. Destiny 2 is a game that was full price to begin with as well, and then it turned into what they call free to play. It's not really free to play. It's more like free to try. There's so much of the content of this game that's gate kept by you needing to pay for it. And this is kind of the situation. The DLC, which will sometimes go on sale and everything, but still, yeah, that's basically what it is, dude. It's free to try. Yeah, you go in here and you like play this game, and you get slapped in the face constantly with, oh, you want to play this content? Go buy this DLC. It'll bring it up for you to buy it. You want to play this content? Buy this DLC. And you can see the price here, right? It's more than that, but there's a ton of content that is gatekept by what they've done here, and it's $564 is what they're showing. It's not really that much. It's probably more like $300 roughly dollars. As some of this you can get in like bundles, but there's still like yeah, it's not like you're just getting to like play a demo or anything. You get to play the base game, but everything they've added to the game since then, it's just all of it's, you have to pay for all of it. And then there's even scummy stuff like they've done with some of the additional dungeons and raids they put in the game. Like you'll buy the DLC, but you still can't do the raid because you have to pay real money for the key for the raid. It's terrible, dude. Like you can see right here. See all this? Like this is a game that they're gonna make you pay for this much for all this DLC. And they have in-game premium currency for it as well. It is really, really rough, dude. There are a lot of examples of this kind of thing that happens in the gaming industry nowadays, and it's a huge turnoff for me, man. I don't know. I went back and played this recently and was like, I remember Destiny being pretty fun, but it's also nowadays, after I've seen what it's become, it's pretty gross to me, dude. It's pretty gross. So, I don't know. It's especially for somebody that like again, I paid $70 or $80 for the enhanced digital deluxe version of the game or something like that when it first came out, and lost all of my account information because they switched servers over from Blizzard into other servers, and I didn't get my stuff switched over in time, so I just lost all of my account information. So not only did I pay for this game up front, but then I lost all my account information because they wanted to switch servers, and part of that's my fault for not either checking my email diligently enough or forgetting to do it or something like that, but I was busy at the time. And then they make it all free to try. It's a weird situation, dude. I don't know. I'm not very fond of what they've done with this game here, and while I do think there are some great things about what Bungie is as a developer, this part of it is gross to me. It's really, really disgusting, to be honest. There are a lot of examples of games that do this kind of like massive amounts of DLC, and it ends up costing you hundreds, if not over $1,000, dollars to get all the content. And it's like, Jesus, where does it stop? Are you really getting that? I don't see it being worth that much money, personally, And like I said before, I kind of expressed the sentiment earlier in the day when we were talking about stuff. There's absolutely something to be said for great games providing good content and long content that you get immersed in. And the more that you play and the more you're enjoying it and they continue to provide you content, I feel like people should be more apt to provide monetary means to supporting those companies. I think that's great. And I'm definitely of that mindset, but there's also, it's very easy for a lot of this to come off very scummy, where they try to make it to where it's like you're basically gatekept from being able to enjoy a lot of the content without, paying for things over and over and over. And there are a lot of companies out there that don't provide enough quality content to justify spending the money on anymore, you know? 10K in DLC? What? Dude, are you for real? Which one, bro? Oh, for real? Let's look at this one. Oh my flipping god, dude. What? Train Sim World 4. Look at this. 85 add-ons. 85 pieces of DLC, adding up to over $2,100 US, bro. What? Yeah, I'm sure that like all the other ones are like that too. What in the crap is that, dude? Oh my god. That's disgusting. Make me want to throw up, dude. Jesus Christ. That is terrible. Ugh. The other one is Frostpunk 2, man, that we're gonna look at right now. Take a look at this. The first one's supposed to be a banger. I haven't played it yet though. That is insane, dude. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, that's insane, Doug. I'll link this one for you guys too. Oof. Yeah, I have a big issue with those games like The Sims and City Skylines and Train Simulator. You know,
Do you hear it?
I'm a little bit more lenient on the side of like free-to-play game. If they, they got to make money somehow. I'm still not real thrilled about those free-to-play games that do it in a way where it's like gatekeeping content behind paywalls and stuff. But I understand it more on the free-to-play side of things. For those games that still cost up front, it's like, ooh wee, dude. You guys are pretty scummy, man.
And sacrifice. But for every man who fulfills his calling, there are thousands left with nothing. It's them who knock and open the door to hell.
This is not in-game footage, by the way, unfortunately. The Sims base game is free, though, now. That's what I was saying earlier, true. So, now it is. But that only happened like 6 months ago. When did that game release, dude? Sims 4? So Frostpunk 1 was awesome. Frostpunk 2 is probably going to be a banger too. Here's the link to it. So yeah, that's what I was saying before. But yeah, okay. So Sims 4, right? Yeah, it's free to play now. But this game came out in 2014. It's almost been a decade. This game was a game that cost upfront for almost a decade. And they've had this DLC that entire time, and so it's like, sorry, I'm not really going to consider it a game that's been free to play. It's been a game that's cost up front, Yeah. So, that's not really going to hold any water with me. So, yeah. Yeah, it's still gross. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's that's just insane, dude. $1,100? God dang it. That's just that. I mean, it's yeah. It wouldn't really even matter. You know, when it's this to this extent, it doesn't even matter if it's free to play or not. That's just gross, dude. It's just disgusting. So, I mean, the next Sims game is in development. It's going to be the same exact way. I don't know, man. I just this is that whole like supporting EA thing, man, where it's like, oh man, I really wish people would quit supporting EA, dude. That company needs to die. And you know, I know a lot of people go, well, that's not a nice thing to say. There's a lot of people that have jobs there and everything. Yeah. But this is a terrible company for the video gaming industry. EA is. They are a terrible, terrible, terrible company for the video gaming industry. So they for whatever that company is right now and what they are, it needs to die off. Whether that means it totally just, in my opinion, if it totally dissolves, fine. If it you know turns into being bought out and gets turned into something better by being revamped by another company, great. I don't care what it is. EA is trash. It's so scummy, dude. They are the worst, dude. One of, if not the worst companies in this industry, dude. They're so absolutely disgusting. I hate them so much, man. I don't ever wish on anybody to lose their job. Don't get me wrong. I never wish that on anybody, you know. It's a terrible thing. We'd have to talk about it a lot. We've talked about it a lot recently. I never want that from anybody. But that company is a plague on this industry, and they need to be done away with. Ultimately, the best thing that could happen would be they'd be done away with in a way that people wouldn't necessarily be losing their livelihood, their careers and things. But Jesus, it's terrible, dude. They're a virus. EA is a virus on this industry, man. They're so gross. There's some cool other city builders in early access you can play right now. Fabledom, Terrascape, Farthest Frontier, Land of the Vikings, and Haven Dock as well. So if you want to look at those are there. But these are some of those three that we looked at are some of the three most wishlisted games right now on Steam. Stop it. Latest Marvel Spider-Man 2 trailer, Be Greater Together. We've seen a lot of Spider-Man stuff. This game is about to release. It's getting promoted very heavily, and it will continue to be so even after its release. It's just, highly anticipated. It's a big deal for Insomniac. It's a big deal for PlayStation, and therefore it's going to continue to be promoted and marketed very, very heavily. The hype campaign has officially begun for it began a long time ago for Marvel Spider-Man 2 as the Be Greater Together trailer launches. It releases on October 20th. And let's see this new trailer.
The city's being torn apart. I don't know if I'm strong enough to save it. Do I have what it takes to protect the people I love?
Yeah, I'm just so glad this is releasing so they can get to work on Wolverine. These games are supposed to be badass, though. These games are supposed to be really, really good.
You never gave up. Never backed down.
Oh yeah, Venom plays a big role in this game, dude.
Neither will I.
You play as Venom and everything. Or as like the symbiote version of Spider-Man and everything. Yeah. These are supposed to. Insomniac's done a banger job with these, apparently. Which is why I'm so glad that they're making Wolverine. And not some other terrible company like EA, who's actually making flipping Iron Man, and they're making Black Panther. I think there's going to be a lot of people disappointed in either or probably both of those. Iron Man and Black Panther are probably going to be mediocre at best. They're EA games. They're not going to be very good, probably. They'll be decent, maybe. But Wolverine's probably going to be really good because it's Insomniac. And they're making it a mature game as well. I'm really excited. Yeah, really excited. I need to play the Spider-Man games. Sorry, guys. Oh yeah, dude, Wolverine's always been one of my favorite like characters, you know, like in the realm of like superheroes and stuff like that, which he rides that line of kind of being more like an anti-hero, you know. I've always been a little bit more um I've leaned a little bit heavier towards like anti-heroes and villains than I ever have like heroes, to be fair. But always loved Wolverine, dude, and I'm so glad that he's getting like his own title. I'm really glad Insomniac's the company that's going to be behind making it too. I think it's going to be a banger, dude. You never can really tell, but they're a great studio, man. Yeah, I agree. I agree, dude. I think villains are more fun too. You know, it's like there are some heroes that are cool. I've always liked Iron Man too. I've always liked Iron Man even before the movies came out. You know what I mean? I was always kind of a fan of Iron Man. I thought Iron Man was cool, but you know, there were always heroes that I wasn't a fan of too, like Captain America. Dude, I'm not a fan of like and like Cyclops, dude. I don't like Cyclops. You know, like the flipping. I have a really hard time with the heroes that are like, especially the heroes that are just so flipping goody good, try hard, flipping. Yeah, I don't know what it is about them, dude. They just rub me the wrong way. Oh, dude, I don't think anybody. You know, that's one of those roles. We've talked about that a lot, and we talked about it here recently too. Having those actors play those roles where it's hard to see anybody else do it any better, you know. And that's one of those. Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man. It's a hard thing to see anybody do that better. It's not that there might not be anybody that could or will, but it's hard to see anybody being able to do that any better than he did it. You know what I mean? Man, he did a great job as that character for sure. Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Very, very, very good casting for that role. No doubt about it. Yeah. Yeah. They've got a link for like the complete trophy list for the game, stuff like that. But this is what basically the gist of this article here. So if you need more out of it, link it right there for you, all right? Arkham Trilogy delayed on Switch. You know why? Because Switch is old and busted. Even though these Arkham games are old, the Switch just it's terrible for developers trying to get things ported over to that console, man. For those who are eager to fight crime as the Cape Crusader while on the go with a Switch, there's now unfortunately a delay in store. It was just revealed on Twitter that the Batman Arkham Trilogy for Switch will be pushed back from October 13th to December 1st, making a disappointment for the fans who were excited to pick up some of the greatest Batman games ever released. I do wait. Wait, what do you mean? Coming out to handheld soon? Probably. Wait. What coming out to handheld soon? What are you talking about? What did I miss? I own all these games, dude, and I need to play them. These were actually some of the more industry defining games for like melee combat, action combat games that really set the tone for what action combat games could and needed to be moving forward in the industry. They're very iconic for that fact, and I to be very blunt, I think it's the reason that we have some of the games, like we just watched Spider-Man 2. I think one of the reasons that Insomniac has been able to make great games like Spider-Man is because there's been influence, heavy influence, from what Batman Arkham games were in the first place. And I'm just giving you an example of something like Spider-Man. You know what I mean? But I think all the way across the board, there's been heavy influence from the Batman Arkham games for a long time, as they were very inventive and defining for the industry moving forward in that genre and those types of melee combat games, you know? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, apparently more time is needed to bring players the best possible experience on Switch. We apologize to fans who are excited to play this version of the trilogy. Thank you for your patience. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right, Peter. Yep, they were. Admittedly, what we've seen of the Arkham trilogy on Switch looks pretty good. It's a sizable undertaking when it releases, when it will happen in December. It'll bring Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight to the Switch. All in one neat and tidy package. It's a fantastic offering. Arkham Asylum alone is considered one of the greatest games of its day. Here's the trailer for the trilogy if you haven't seen it before, all right? If you're not aware of what these games are. Now, apparently it's been delayed to December now. We'll see if they hit that mark. It's not an easy thing for developers. They're very handcuffed by the Switch's very underpowered and old hardware, unfortunately.
You're all going down.
You still know how to make an entrance.
Welcome to the madhouse, Batman.
There he is.
Today is the Joker's big homecoming.
I love the Joker, dude.
Soon I will command forces beyond your comprehension.
I've waited long enough. Batman dies tonight.
This place is dangerous. I like it. Gotham would be ours.
Over my dead body.
I believe that was the idea.
To update my Switch roster. Is this a port? Yeah, this is a port. Yeah, these games came out. I'll show you.
Don't be a stranger. You're always welcome here.
That was probably a little bit loud. Sorry. So these games came out. I'll link this just in case you guys need it. But apparently, it's going to be hitting in December now. Hopefully, they'll be able to hit that mark. We'll see. These games were, let's see here. Yeah, like 13 years ago, dude. You want to talk about games that I think have really been able to stand the test of time? Yeah, I mean, these games are as old as what we've been playing right now with Fallout New Vegas, you know, and as old as like BioShock 2, you know. The FPS, dude, I guarantee you this game is not going to hit anything over 30 frames on the Switch. I guarantee it. On PC, you'll probably be able to hit more than that. But on the Switch, there's no way you're getting anything more than 30 frames. There are very few games that have ever been able to hit anything over 60 frames on the Switch. But if you look at these games are very highly rated. There's one that was made by a different company, though. Which one was it? Here, I'll show you real quick. So the Arkham Collection Locked and Steady. I mean, that's all you really could hope for on the Switch. Hopefully, they'll port it over to the new Nintendo hardware coming out too. That comes out next year, and it'll be better. But the Switch, there's not many games that hit over 30 frames on the Switch, man. What was the one? Arkham Knight, Arkham City, Arkham Asylum. Isn't there another game? So I think all of these were made by Rocksteady. And then there was let me see. I always forget Origins, I think. I think Origins was a game that was made in the same realm of what these games were, but it was made by a different developer and it wasn't very good, I don't think. I think most people consider this to not be, or maybe Origins was. Origins? I can't remember, dude. I can't remember. It's been so long since I dove into this. There's Origins and there's the Arkham Collection. So there's Arkham Asylum was 2010, Arkham City 2012, Arkham Knight 2015, and these were all Rocksteady. And then Arkham Origins, which actually is reviewed decently, but I heard bad things about it. If you notice that, though, all of these games are Rocksteady, right? These are all Rocksteady developed and published by Warner Brothers. And then Arkham Origins that I just had up just a second ago is different developer. This one was WB and Splash Damage developed. So I think this is like the outlier, which is kind of weird. And I need to look into it again. It's been a long time. I think we have some community members that know a little bit more about the entire situation that went down here with this. But it's not. It's got like a 74 on Metacritic, where the other one. Well, the thing that's weird too is like this one happened in between some of the other games, which is really weird. So I don't know what went down here, but it's like Rocksteady. So if you notice, this is like 2013, and there's like the Rocksteady developed games were like between 2010 and what, 2016 or something like that. So I don't know what went down, but you'll notice this one's not as highly rated on Metacritic as it is the other games are. But you can get the other games in a collection. The Batman Arkham Collection will have all the games made by Rocksteady. It's Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. And it'll have the Arkham Knight Season Pass in there too. And this actually goes on sale quite often for really, really cheap on PC. You'll see it go on sale. What was the date? That's 2015. 2012 and 2010. So yeah, Arkham Origins came in between Arkham City and Arkham Knight. It's kind of odd by a different developer. So this entire package will go on sale for like roughly, I think like $10 to $15 or something like that. Whenever Steam does like big sales and stuff, so you just keep your eyes open for it and you'll see it. But supposed to be a banger games, dude. And I've had it for a long time and I need to play them. This is weird. Twitch is dead. Fans react after Elon Musk tests video game streamer system on X. Yo, I don't think so. Old Muskrat, huh? On Monday, Elon Muskrat took to social media X and informed fans about the successful testing of video game streamer system on the platform. Okay. Hold on. So Elon Musk, this says Elon Musk is one of the greatest innovators in the world today. Elon Musk was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. To a very wealthy father who ran what, emerald mines or something? I think something like that. So I think really took advantage of a lot of underpaid individuals, and you know, but even of the like greatest innovator, I'm not saying the dude's not smart or whatever, but people think he started Tesla and so like he didn't, dude. He bought Tesla off of other inventors, and took the business and yeah, I mean he turned it into what it is now, but it was already well on its way to making electric vehicles and stuff like that, and then he took it and got it its prominence because he had a name to build off of with that company and everything too, so let's not act like, I don't know. If people want to act like he's still just like can't do anything wrong, but I mean, look at what he's done with Twitter, dude. Holy crap. You know? Um and let's be fair, Tesla has a lot of its own issue, man. I don't like Teslas, dude. I don't either. I think electric vehicles are amazing, right? And let's be fair here. I mean, you know, as far as like the transition into something like electric vehicles, it's a whole new realm for us as far as technology goes, and I think it's great. It's a much more clean way for us to address transportation, and but there are a lot of issues with Teslas, dude. You can look up videos online of people that get their brand new Teslas and they're built pretty crappy. They just burst into flames all the time and stuff like, you know, uh yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I'm not saying that maybe he hasn't done some good stuff and everything, but this guy has had an easy way to jump into, it's not like he blazed his own path here or whatever, and a way too expensive, agreed. Yeah. Um, most things in life nowadays are, but again, this is not an individual that like blazed his own path. He got to where he is, because he had the monetary means to really get it. It takes money to make money. You know what I mean? And his father's filthy, dude. And he grew up being that way. And to be fair, he's got a lot of really narrow-minded views about the world and society and everything too. So I'm not a fan of this individual. I'm pretty sure he even like basically has, just totally, if I remember correctly, shunned his daughter, or his daughter doesn't want anything to do with him or whatever, or his child, whatever, because of some issue about his daughter is part of the LGBTQ plus community, and he doesn't want to support that or something. It's something crazy like that, dude. I mean, he seems like a very closed-minded individual, and I'm not saying he's not smart or whatever, but I don't think he deserves all that, to be put on the pedestals that he's been on and stuff like that. Yeah. To be honest, quite often he comes off as kind of a twat, dude. It's like, especially after all this Twitter stuff, all the Twitter stuff was like, oh man, you know what the Twitter stuff made him come off as? The Twitter stuff made him come off as somebody that was just too arrogant and too prideful to admit when they're wrong and to admit when maybe they made a mistake. And instead of doing that, they just wrecked this entire company, That's what this whole Twitter thing has come off to, and as far as like everything that I know about it, that's the way it's come off to me, which is really, I never had a real like negative view of Elon before that. I didn't think he was what everybody made him out to be necessarily. Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. True. Yeah, yeah. And so, I mean, I don't know. the whole Twitter thing really gave me a nasty taste in my mouth about Elon Musk and everything. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Thanks, Drew. Appreciate it. Yeah. And I mean, look, I mean, if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what does. You know, if somebody's own children don't want to have anything to do with them, you know what I mean? What does that tell you, man? Don't get me wrong, dude. Kids can go through some wild phases and stuff like that, you know. But I think a large part of what this is all about is the fact that Elon doesn't support his children and being who they are, and therefore that's why his daughter doesn't want anything to do with him and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, the muskrat, dude. Yeah, and that's very, very sad to hear, you know, in my opinion, for the kind of, you know, community we have here and the way we support people, and we just want people to be able to live their best life and stuff like that. That's one of the big things that I think is a turnoff about people like this for me. And I don't know. There's just been a lot over the past couple of years, I think, that I've found out about Elon Musk that is a big turnoff for me. It's not that I don't think he's an intelligent individual, and I think that he's made some huge advancements in our world that have been beneficial for us. I do think that. But I also don't think that he deserves necessarily to be put on this pedestal that a lot of people hold him up on. You know what I mean? He's had a lot of opportunities that a lot of other people in the world wouldn't have to get to the position he's in, just because of where he's from and the wealth that he comes from and stuff like that. And I think that's one of those things that you can't, you know, you have to take into consideration, you know. And the way he treats other people, including his own kids, that's something that's a very hard thing for me to get past. Not that I know their personal life or anything either. You know what I mean? So I'm always going to take a little bit of that with a grain of salt. I don't know the entire situation myself. It's not, you know, a lot of what we go off of is stuff that's like comes out in the media, and we all know how much you can trust the media too, you know. So I'm always going to take a little bit of that kind of stuff with a grain of salt. You have to, dude, you know. But that's just kind of my stance on this individual right now. But to say things like, dude, Twitch is dead because he's trying to get some like game streaming platform going on, you know, his platform, which was Twitter, that he decided he needed to rename because of some weird reason, you know what I mean, after buying it and then basically destroying it. And I don't know, man. It's weird. I don't think so. Look, I think Twitch has issues. I do. Which is why I'm always going to keep my options open. You know, we talked about this earlier. I've got an account on another platform. That way, if we feel like we need to transfer over as a community and be on another platform, we can do that. Twitch has done some things that are a bit scary and concerning, and I'm always going to try to do the best I can to protect our community and being able to continue to provide a place for us to be and you know, a place for us to be for one another and for anybody else who might come along and need to become or want to become part of what we do and what we are. You know what I mean? So, but to say that Twitch is dead and that like X is going to take over, or Twitter, whatever you want to call them, is going to take over as like the next big streaming platform, dude, I don't see it. I don't know about that either. The well-known billionaire is setting new benchmarks with his creativity and vision in space exploration, artificial intelligence, technology, and various other fields. On Monday, Muskrat took to social media, X, and informed fans about the successful testing of video game streamer system on the platform. He also shared a video of himself playing a video game live on X. Tested the X video game streamer system last night. It works. We'll try to complete a tier 100 Nightmare Dungeon tonight live on this platform, wrote Musk. Pull this down a second. This is a bit tough to read. Mark Kallman, who is the engineering lead for media on X, shared a video guiding users how to do game streaming on the platform. The facility is available for premium subscribers. There you go. How to game stream on here for premium subscribers. Calvin captioned the video. Meanwhile, fans reacted to the facility of doing live streaming of video games on X. Some netizens speculated that X would eat into the business of popular streaming platform Twitch. Nah. Twitch is dead. Long live X, commented one user. No. You got like a bunch of muskrat crap on your nose there. Is there anything in the world you can't do? Posted another. Jesus, you too? I can't wait to test this out, tweeted an excited fan. Can you stream iOS games? Asked another. With the addition of the latest video game streaming feature, it seems Musk is well on his way to achieving the vision of making X into the everything app. Jesus Christ. We'll see about that, dude. It's just that easy to do. You know what I mean? Come on, man. If it was that easy to do, everybody would be doing it. Look, I mean, don't get me wrong. Elon Musk obviously has a bunch of people that just want to put their faces right into his butt crack, and like like with these tweets and everything, like people, you know what I mean? They just want to kiss his ass, dude. It's so weird, but so obviously he's got a large following and everything, and that makes it easier for people to get things done, but. If the technological industry was that easy, there wouldn't be the struggle that so many companies have in today's day of it's polluted, man. And everybody's trying to be the next big thing and be the one, and I don't know, dude. Twitter's been around for a long time. Yeah, he's trying to make it the everything app, but what even does that mean? It's like whenever the gaming industry was trying to tell, all the developers like, we're making the metaverse. It's like, bro, you don't even know what that word means. You know what I mean? So hey, what does the everything app even mean, dude? What does that mean to you? And what are you trying to bring to the table for us as the everything app? Is it going to feed me? Is it going to cure cancer? It's like, what is the everything app? What does that even mean, bro? Like, that's such a very vague, open-ended, like, I don't know. It's so weird. It's weird to me that the people get this amount of clout, you know what I mean? Just for being somebody of some kind of infamous status. And just because they're rich, people just want to kiss their ass, dude. It's so weird. I don't understand it. Yeah, exactly. True. Yeah, I don't, so and it's not everybody, don't get me wrong, but it's weird that people get lost in like that. I guess the idea of somebody just being so famous and wealthy and rich that they just want to like they just want to be them or be a part of them in any way they can. It's like, God dang, dude. Be yourself, dude. Live your life. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's the way I see a lot of that, It's weird. Anyways, Epic Games Director of Publishing Strategy is leaving the company. Team Spy creator Sergey Galyankin helped launch the Epic Games Store. So among the other things we've seen happen with Epic, right? We've seen like they are laying off 16% of their workforce. Apparently, a lot of it is being imparted on and affecting Mediatonic, which is the developer behind Fall Guys. Unfortunately, Fall Guys was a huge thing for Epic and for Mediatonic as a company before. Mediatonic created Fall Guys, then Epic bought Mediatonic. Fall Guys became exclusive to Epic's platform, and they're losing all this workforce now, and Epic's decided to share off Bandcamp or sell off Bandcamp, and now they're losing their director of publishing. There's a lot of bad stuff going on at Epic right now, man. It's unclear if the Sergey's departure is directly related to the widespread job cuts at Epic. Last week, the company announced plans to lay off around 830 employees, or 60% of its total workforce. Announcing his departure, Galionkin said he was not a good fit for where Epic is headed as a company. Ooh, yikers. Can you elaborate on that, please, sir? Galionkin is the creator of Steam Spy, a website which launched in 2015 that automatically gathers data from Steam user profiles before analyzing it and generating statistics like approximate game sales and average playtime per game. He joined Epic in February 2016 as head of publishing for Eastern Europe before taking on his current role in August 2017, according to his LinkedIn profile. Galionkin's learnings from Steam Spy were used to help develop Epic's Steam competitor, Epic Game Store, which launched in December of 2018. Today is officially my last day at Epic Games, Galionkin said. These 8 years have been some of the most exciting in my career, and I'm deeply grateful to my former Epic Games colleagues and Tim Sweeney for allowing me to help build Epic 4.0. I'm also immensely thankful for the generous $144 million donation Epic Games sent to various charities to help Ukraine in the early days of the Russian invasion of 2022. At that time, Epic Games was ahead of some G7 countries in providing support. It means the world to me. While I wasn't always polite during those discussions, I will forever be grateful. Quote, we launched Fortnite, which later became one of those self-reinforcing cultural phenomena I wrote about just a year prior. We proved that free-to-play without pay-to-win can work at scale. We challenged the status quo in game distribution with the 88-12 revenue share. Now Epic Games is on its way to transforming from a game developer, engine creator, and publisher into a platform, Epic 5.0. I am not a good fit for this new version of Epic. It requires people of a different kind. I plan to remain in the gaming industry. I also hope to be more vocal now that I don't have to worry about the PR department knocking on my DMs. There's some stuff going on here he doesn't like, it feels like. You know what I mean? Again, thank you to everyone I worked with at Epic Games. It was an incredible journey, and I will always cherish it. Yeah, there's some stuff going on here, dude. I like this, and I'm interested. Now that Epic is on its way to transforming from a game developer, engine creator, and publisher into a platform, Epic 5.0, I am not a good fit for this new version of Epic. It requires people of a different kind. That's concerning. I plan to remain in the gaming industry. I also hope to be more vocal now that I don't have to worry about the public relations department knocking on my DMs. Interesting. Interesting. I'm actually going to try and keep track of where this individual ends up. And I'm really interested in what they might come out and say about what's going on here at Epic. If they can. Two best Nintendo Switch deals ahead of Prime Day, round 2. Prime Day apparently is hitting, this is the second Prime Day this year, going to be hitting on the 10th and 11th of October, guys. Which means we'll have a lot of sales on Amazon. That means other major retailers will be doing sales too to compete, meaning a lot of major retailers talking like Target, Best Buy, places like that. So you'll be able to see a lot of technological sales, a lot of gaming sales and stuff, okay? They're already talking about you can already get Target sales. Leading up to Prime Day. So Target's already ahead of the game here. Target is trying to pull in retail sales right now ahead of Amazon's Prime Day sales. So some of these deals are already available on Amazon. There's a good chance more will go live on October 10th. Other great games on sale. Tears of the Kingdom 45, Dragon Quest Treasures 35, Pokemon Scarlet 43. The links are here for all these games. So if you're in the market for some Switch games, they've got Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, some 8-bit Do controllers, Animal Crossing, Mario Party, Octopath Traveler 2, Skyward Sword, Link's Awakening, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Tears of the Kingdom, all that stuff on sale, man. They got links for all of it. So these sales are probably going to be across, like, it looked like Walmart, Target, Best Buy, Amazon, all those places, okay? But you don't get Nintendo sales all that often, so it might not be a bad time to take a look. Last article I have for the day, guys. So let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about and flesh out for the day, and we'll address it for the new segment before we move on and go play some of our horror Spooktober gameplay for the rest of the day, talking about Song of Horror Day 3. So Song of Horror Day 3, we're in the middle of the episode 2, and we're kind of progressing through that, and we're gonna go, oh yes, that's right. Yeah, true, you got it. We're gonna go play some more games after we finish up with the news here. So if you got anything else to add that I'm not aware of, I haven't touched on, you want to talk about, whatever, let me know in chat and we'll address it before we move on, okay? Unity Fallout continues. This was literally from yesterday afternoon. Unity Fallout continues. Dev group shuts down while developers refuse to come back. The fallout from game engine Unity's decision to try and cram a completely new and different pricing structure down the throats of game developers continues. Originally announced in mid-September, Unity took a bunch of its tiered structures of its offerings and suddenly insisted per install fees along with a bunch of other fee structures and requirements for its lower level tiers that never had these pricing models. The backlash from developers and the public at large was so overwhelmingly one-sided and swift that the company then backtracked, making a bunch of noise about how it will listen better and learn from this fiasco. But it's too late, dude. The backtracking did make a bunch of changes to address the anger from its initial announcement, including newly amended price structure no longer applies to games already made using the engine. Personal tier of Unity will once again be free of any fees until the game reaches a $200,000 annual threshold of revenue, and will no longer require to show a Made with Unity screen on boot. Per use fees will only kick in for the other tiers once a game reaches $1 million in revenue, also over a calendar year, and $1 million in initial purchases / installations of a game. Those per-use fees are also capped at 2.5% of gross revenue for a game once it meets those requirements. Those per-use fees are also somewhat lower than the initial plan. This is a table of them showing the changes. Is this better? Yes. And some developers have even come back with positive comments on the new plan. Others, not so much. Quote, Unity fixed all the major issues except trust. Trust is forever harmed here. You know, I've said that from the get-go. It's a possibility to use again in the future. Indie developer Radian Games wrote, uninstalling Godot and Unreal and getting back to work on instruments. Others were less forgiving. Unity's updated policy can be classified as the textbook definition of we didn't actually hear you. We don't actually care what you wanted. Cerulean and Drunk Robot Games engineer Red Vonix wrote on social media, we'll never ship a Unity game of our own again, they added. I don't blame them one bit. This is the problem. And this is why I feel like most developers are going to address the situation. I've said this from the get-go. After this fiasco went down, Unity has shown what they really care about. It's solely money. That's it. It's not about taking care of their customers or anything like that. It is all greed. And if they've tried to do this before, which we've seen now they have, they will try to do it again. That accept trust parenthetical is doing a lot of work because that's the entire problem. If Unity came out with this plan initially and had worked constructively with its customers, as I've stated before, should have been the case, the blow up about this almost certainly would have been far more muffled, right? But trust is one of those things that takes forever to build and only a moment to destroy. Along those lines, we've learned subsequently both that some community groups that have sprung up around Unity are disbanding out of disgust for the company's actions, and that plenty of developers aren't coming back to try the second bite at the pricing model Apple that Unity wants to offer them. As to the first, the oldest Unity dev group that exists, Boston Unity Group, has decided to call it quits, putting its reasons why in no uncertain terms. Quote, over the past few years, Unity has unfortunately shifted its focus away from the games industry and away from supporting developer communities. The group leadership wrote in a departure note. Following the IPO, the company has seemingly put profit over all else. Yep, obviously. With several acquisitions and layoffs of core personnel, many key systems that developers need are still left in a confusing and often incomplete state, with the messaging that advertising and revenue matter more to Unity than the functionality game developers care about. Bug says the install fee terms Unity first announced earlier this month were unthinkably hostile to users, and that even the new concessions in an updated pricing model offered late last week disproportionately affect the success of indie studios in our community. But it's the fact that such resounding, unequivocal condemnation from the games industry was necessary to get those changes in the first place that has really shaken the community to its core. We've seen how easily and flippantly an executive-led business decision can risk bankrupting the studios we've worked so hard to build, threaten our livelihoods as professionals, and challenge the longevity of our industry, Bug wrote. The Unity of today isn't the same company that it was when the group was founded, and the trust we used to have in the company has been completely eroded. Ouch. That's about as complete a shellacking as you're going to get from what, and I cannot stress this enough, is a dedicated group of Unity's fans and customers. And while these organically created dev groups quitting on Unity certainly is bad enough, there are plenty of developers out there chiming in on these changes, essentially stating that the trust has been broken and there isn't a chance in hell that they're coming back on board the Unity train. Vampire Survivors developer Ponkel, for instance, gave a succinct laugh out loud, no thank you, when asked during a Reddit AMA over the weekend if their next game sequel would again use the Unity engine. Even if Unity were to walk back entirely on their decisions, I don't think it would be wise to trust them while they're under the current leadership. Exactly. Basically, nothing has changed to stop Unity from doing this again in the future. Inner Sloth Among Us developer Tony Kokoluzzi wrote on social media Friday afternoon. The ghouls are still in charge, and they're thinking up ways to make up for this hit on projected revenue as we speak. Unity leadership still can't be trusted to not flip us harder in the future. Absolutely. Other developers chimed in that they did have discussions with Unity about the new pricing structure and were similarly ignored. In those cases, those developers appeared to be solidly in the camp of fool me once, shame on you. You should know the rest of that saying. There are certain things that are just really difficult to walk back. And breaking the trust of your own fans and customers, where loyalty is so key to business, is one of them. The picture Unity painted for its customers is one where it simply does not care and is now pretending to only because it landed itself in hot water. Absolutely. These are... Yeah, there you go, true. Unless you're George Bush, then you probably are going to mess that quote up. But, you know... These are exactly the same sentiments that I've been stating about the situation the whole time. I didn't see most developers coming back to Unity. You know, the trust has been broken, and they've shown their true colors. And like I said previously, unless they get to a point where their stock gets so low, they decide to sell, and a new company comes in, they have new owners, and the new owners are willing to strip the entire management out of that company and show potential consumers again that this is a different company that is not run by those same individuals, Unity will never be what it was before this debacle. It just won't happen. It's irrevocably damaged, their reputation is. That people have seen it. You know, the same thing that's happened here is the same thing I talk about quite often in the gaming industry from developers and publishers. You know, we've seen these industries. This is just the same exact example on a different level. You're talking about a video game engine company that has treated its consumers of developers poorly, right? They've shown their consumer, the developers, that all they cared about was greed. And I talk about this all the time in the industry. We've seen these companies that we grew up at one point or another falling in love with. You want to talk about a company like Blizzard, maybe something like that, right? That many of us grew up being in love with, and they turned into something completely different and blinded by greed. And it's turned a lot of us off about what they do nowadays. And so they've lost a lot of their fan base over the years because they've turned into something that we consider gross, which is the same exact scenario that Unity finds themselves in here in the way that the developers are looking at them. It's just the same situation, same scenario in a different situation, I guess, is the way it should go. You know, we talk about this a lot. And if you don't take care of your customers, you don't take care of your employees, you will fail. If you get to the point where all you see are expendable assets, the people that have gotten you to where you're at of being a successful company, if you turn around and you turn on them and all you do is look at them as expendable, they don't matter anymore. You know, you don't care what their sentiments are. You know, you're willing to take advantage of those people. You're going to die off. You're going to wreck yourself. So you better check yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm so stupid. But it's true. You know, we talk about it all the time. And I think it really does hold true. There are a lot of these companies that have gotten so big that you like that, true. There are a lot of these companies that have gotten so big that they've been able to sustain through some of this stuff, you know. But I mean, I've seen it happen to so many developers that I've at one point or another been in love with in my life that they've turned into something just absolutely disgusting. They're willing to take advantage of their, customer base. They lean on specific titles and names of games. They're not worried about content anymore. They don't listen to their community or their fan base or their consumers or anything. And it's led to a lot of strife and, a lot of their company having hard times eventually because they're not who they used to be. They lost sight of what, made them so great in the first place. It's difficult to watch as a fan too. It really is. But it's like these companies become polluted with solely greed-focused individuals. It's not the way, you know what I mean? That's not the way this industry works with being successful. It really doesn't. It might work for a little bit, but it's going to catch up to you sooner or later. And for one, obviously it mauls me out, dude. I hate it. And that's the whole point in what I like to do here with the news segments is try to educate people on the good companies we should support because they are solid. They've got a great foundation. They're ethically and morally, they've got a good compass behind them on those fronts, and they deserve our support. They provide us good content. They do good by us. Those are the ones we support. And then trying to call out the ones that don't do well, it's just the same thing as this Unity situation. The developers are calling them out and saying, you screwed us. You're trying to screw us, and you don't deserve, it doesn't matter if you backtrack. You don't deserve support moving forward because we see who you are now, It's the same thing that I try to do for a lot of, educating people on a lot of these publishers and developers are. There are a lot of these publishers and developers in the video gaming industry nowadays that don't deserve our support. They've, in some form or fashion, many times actually, over the years, have tried to screw us. Bad game releases, not fulfilling the promises they've given us on content, you name it, over and over and over. They don't deserve our support moving forward. They deserve to be not supported and to die off is the way it goes. We have to show them that duping us, cheating us, providing us broken products leads to damaging their company. That's the way this is supposed to go. So that's a big part of why I do what I do here. It's important to me. I love this industry. I love the world of video games. But I think that it's important that we promote a healthy, way of supporting it moving forward, and try and ensure that we're not supporting the unhealthy ways and the unhealthy companies that are part of it as we move forward as well, you know. And that's the news. It was a segment today, man. We're going to go play some games, dude. We're going to play Song of Horror. It'll be episode 2. This is going to be day 3 of our gameplay. And we'll probably get into episode 3 today, I would assume, if I can get my head out of my butt, quit being 3-headed, and actually figure stuff out. It took me a while yesterday to figure out what I was looking for, and I finally got it. So we're moving forward this morning. We got some things to get done, and it'll be a good time, man. Get a heart attack going, I'm sure, with True hanging out and scaring me, along with I'm sure Syke will be here, and many other of our community members loving to scare the crap out of me, you know. Yeah, that's right, True. So it was a great news segment, guys. I really appreciate it. For anybody that's hanging out that is not familiar with the content and what we do here in this community, we stream 6 days a week, every day but Wednesday. So tomorrow will be a day off, but we're live 6 days a week. We always start off at roughly 6 a.m. CST. We always begin with video gaming news. Sometimes it can be an hour long. Sometimes it can be almost 3 hours long, depending on how much news we come across. But for the rest of the day, after we finish the news segment, you know, we go on and we play video games for the rest of the day, which is what we're about to do right now. And we have a great time doing it. We've got a lot of amazing people that are part of our community here. All of the previous content that we've done, all our past content, whether it be video gaming news segments or the playthroughs we've done of all the games we've played, funny clips and highlights, all that stuff is on our Twitch channel in playlists, as well as VODs on the YouTube channel in playlists as well. So you can find all that content on both of our sites, both of our channels, and if you're enjoying the content, I would prompt you to come hang out with us. You know, we love video games. You know, that's what brings us all together here. We have a great time playing games together, but we have an amazing community of people here that is very supportive of one another, understanding individuals. It's a welcoming place. We don't condone toxicity or bullying or anything like that. It's about being civil and understanding that it's okay to be different. We're all individuals. We're all human beings, and that's, you know, part of being humans is being different, and we should be embracing that notion and you know, really cherishing the fact that we are unique in our differences and not, you know, having to deal with people hating on one another for those facts. So, you know, we got a lot of great people that are here. Again, video games brings us together, but the core that surrounds this community is us being loving and caring for one another, and we got so many people that really hold true to the core aspects of what this community is. And I'm so grateful that we have so many awesome people here. And if you fit in with that aspect, man, you belong here. And we're always looking for more cool people to come be a part of what we do. Spread good vibes, man, and just be part of what we do, you know. So if you're a good person and you love video games, you belong here with us. And so check out the content. If you're enjoying it, come hang out, okay? That's all I can really say. So other than that, man, happy Flippin' Tuesday. Again, no content tomorrow. It's our normal day off, but we'll be back on Thursday. We're going to go play games right now. The stream's not over. We're going to go play games for the rest of the day, but we will be back on Thursday for our next edition of Video Gaming News for October 5th, all right? So until then, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll catch you for the next edition of Video Gaming News, all right?